ask you is, I don't wanna push you farther away, no, I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for someone to be together, be together? Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters. I got feelings about you. Oh yeah, butterflies every time I'm with you. Oh yeah. I don't wanna push you farther away, no, I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, I don't wanna push you farther away, no, I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for someone to be together, be together? Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters. Are you down for love? Are you up for someone to be together, be I wanna be together. Babe, I want your love. I'll be the one you trust. You're all that matters, all that matters to me. Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time when meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove that, baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. Crutches, I be holding crutches, can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I get distant, stay away as long as it takes. Forgive my attitude, I need my cake and eat it too. But a little time will be enough for me to prove that, baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. My highs and my lows, it's part of being human. Can you weather the storm? I'm starting to believe you can, 'cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I could finally see it, bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want these problems, I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. For a lifetime underneath the moonlight, 'cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine in a world so full of pain. Can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. But we thought of you as someone who can love someone like me. But I was wrong, baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You know it's creeping up on me. This frostbite gets deep into my bloodstream. Just trying to make the most of it. Babe, I miss your body. You make some kind of fire. brighter days. 'Cause I'm falling in the snow, it's getting me deep. You make some kind of fire within me. It's almost like it's burning through my skin. Make myself feel warmer when you're near. Whenever you're near, come close. 'Cause I wanna be by your side. Wanna be by your side. Come close. Get under my skin. Give me a piece of your mind. Just for a while. Stay by my side.
The mics are hot. Countdown. Got another wonderful episode of Wife School for everybody. Hope you guys are ready.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Nah, I'm not the problem. Man, that's on you, yeah. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. Lying like a rat, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you. Whatever, and I would never hear. You've been flexing everywhere. Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me. But baby, it's you. Lying like a rat, but take your stuff back. Baby, it's you. Control the weather, then every day would rain on your parade. Shine, you can't change, yeah. If I was Father Time, then I would change the day. So I never saw your face.
Students, welcome to class. You have now entered the main lecture hall in the Department of Hard Knocks at the University of Shannon Rawls. Please have a seat, take out a pen and paper, and prepare to take notes. There's a lot to learn tonight. My name is Professor Shan, and I'd like to introduce my esteemed colleagues tonight. Tonight we have Professor Cheryl. Everybody, please give a warm round. Where's my clapping hands at? Round of applause. Then we have Professor Aisha. We have Professor Happy. And then we have Professor Sir Hale. He's off camera right now, but he'll be here in a second. Good evening, ladies. How are you guys doing?
Good evening, all. How are you guys?
You guys are looking fantastic. I'm glad you guys made it tonight. We're going to jump right into it. You know, we're supposed to start, CP time does not exclude Shannon Rawls, by the way. We're supposed to have this show started.
Blame it on him, guys. It's all Shannon.
It is actually all my fault. What's my drink? Let me get my drink. It is actually all my fault. I was out running around in the city, and it was hot. It's not as bad as last week, but it's still bad. And I was out doing stuff that I had no business doing. I got lost track of time. Next thing I know, I had 30 minutes to get home. LA, so you know how that starts. Anyways, better late than pregnant, as they say. So
Is that what
let's go ahead and.
That's the one, though. That's the one.
Right?
Any exciting news? Anybody have anything special that happened for them this week? Any great news? We always need positive news with all the bad shit that we're hearing and that's going around.
Well,
nothing special.
Mingle and play next weekend. That's special. That's
Mingle
special.
and play. When is Cheryl? So Mingle and play. Cheryl, you have to send me the artwork for Mingle and Play. When's the last time you did a Mingle and Play? I think you're on mute. You muted.
Sorry. Yeah, it was last summer.
A year?
I haven't had it. Yeah, it's been a year.
Dang, Cheryl used to do those every week.
I know, but COVID.
Yeah. So tell us what is Mingle and Play. Explain that to everybody that can come and tell us where it is and when it is.
It's basically just like an alternative to the nightclub scene, but it still has some of the same effects. There's a DJ, there's dancing, there's food, there's drinks, there's like over 100 games to play. We have a ton of people that come out to the events. It's just a very social atmosphere, so it's very easy to meet people. We have a lot of people that celebrate there, bring their friends, their spouses, whomever. Some people bring their parents. It's just like a really cool atmosphere. You can play dominoes, Jenga, spades, Connect Four, Shoots and Ladders, Scrabble, anything.
So that's the play part of Mingle and Play because you got all these boards. Is your Jenga, is it life size?
Yes, I have like 3 different size Jengas. So yeah, there's a ton of games, just a ton of things. The games really break the ice. So if you're meeting someone, it's really easy. I met my husband at Play. So it's just like a very social atmosphere where you can...
Wait, you met Robert at your event?
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew the backstory. I think you guys are like college sweethearts or something. So wait, Play is who created Play? You?
Yeah.
So this is an event that you created over a decade ago, and he came to one of them, and y'all hooked up at your event?
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
besides the founders' love connection, how many? Because that's the mingle side is for people to connect and see people that's kind of like-minded and not necessarily be in the nightclub and VIP and on the red carpet and in the booth and drinking in dark, steamy nightclubs. This is more social.
What time is it?
It starts at 8:00. It goes to 1 in the morning. But it's a really it just helps you. Like I said, the games are really good icebreakers. So you can sit down, you can play Uno or Jenga with somebody, and if you guys don't click or you don't connect, you can move on to the next game. So it's just kind of like almost like speed dating in a sense,
See, I'd meet my wife at the spades table, wherever the spades is. If she could, if she could play spades, and we good. How many
Yes.
love connections have came out of Mingle and Play over the years?
Oh my gosh, I cannot even count. I can't count. I could probably count the kids, but I can't count the love connections.
Wow, that's dope. Yeah, please, Cheryl. This week, send me the artwork so I can make it part of our commercial and put the
Okay.
links and put the link into the description of the video. Every video that you want, and I'll backdate the other videos. It has a Facebook page or a website or something, right? Instagram.
Yes, and Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, give me that info, and then we'll make it part of I'll put it on the bumpers for sure.
Cool.
That's
All right.
cool. I like that idea. I like that whole. That's a cool concept.
Thank you. It's been
Happy.
I started
Imagine
it back
making your
in
husband happy
2005.
playing dominoes.
Okay. Listen, because I'll throw down on some dominoes real quick. Yeah. That life-size Jenga, that's the one that gets you though, because them some hard pieces of wood when they topple
Yeah.
over. It's too loud.
Yes, get out the way.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I love that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
That's super cool.
So let's jump right into it, guys. I got some questions. I want to follow up with the question that we asked last week that we didn't get to. That's going to be our first question of the night, right? You know what? And hold on. Let me put it in the system. Come here. Double click this. Come here. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Copy. Paste. Change the color to white and run it across the screen. Ladies, Professor Cheryl, Professor Aisha, Professor Happy, if he's not making more money, is it a worthy reason for divorce? If your man, your husband, is not making more money, because maybe you guys are on two different sheets of music when it comes to the future for the family, is it a worthy reason for divorce? Before you answer, I have a video that I'd like to show you guys. Hold on 1 second. How do I get to my video?
And so you said, you know what, this, I'm out of here. I need more money. I was selfish and took advantage of a real unfortunate situation, which was he loved me and David unconditionally, completely unconditionally. And when you love someone like that, you really accept their flaws and you accept less than what you should. So really, I should have been a better wife. Every time we saw each other, like, you knew that was your soulmate, right? I mean,
Wow, so he was your soulmate?
it's hard because I knew how he still felt about me.
He just loved you.
He really did.
And you broke his heart.
She's so trash. I'm sorry.
Asia, you be wanting to answer real quick. She divorced her husband.
I'm having commentary.
She divorced her husband because he didn't make more money. He was content in his current lifestyle, and he decided, and he didn't want to work any harder to elevate her lifestyle. So she decided to get rid of him. Ladies, if he's not making more money, is it a worthy reason for divorce in 2022? Cheryl?
Well, the video, she said that she was being selfish, and you could tell just by her reaction and her response, she felt that she made the wrong decision. So, that just speaks volumes in itself. She obviously, was acknowledging that she made the wrong choice, which, I agree. I think in a sense, you also need to look at, is he working at McDonald's and he just has no desire to move from there, or is he working a steady good job and he just is fine where he is? I think there's a big difference, you know, distinguishing the two. I think if he's comfortable, if he's a professor and he's comfortable with teaching and he loves what he's doing and he loves helping kids and he loves, his work and his mission, I think that's fine. You have to figure out, how to make things work the way that it is. But if he's, a attendant at, I don't know, the gas station or something, and he just doesn't want to move up from there, it's like, you're kind of limiting your options as far as like family wise or just, things that you would like to accomplish.
Okay, but so Cheryl, are you saying
Yeah.
it's conditional?
Conditional in the sense where,
Because what you're saying is, well, if he's working as an attendant at the gas station, or if he's like at McDonald's on fries, right? He don't want to be the manager. He's on fries, and he really enjoys making them fries. He's a fry specialist, and he enjoys that. What are you saying, Cheryl? I mean, be clear.
I'm saying that if I was in that position and I wanted to have
Right,
kids,
specialist.
I wanted to buy a house, I want to do anything, it's kind of limiting your options, limiting what, you're able to accomplish, any goals that you may have in life. So travel, anything, it's just, it's very, in that particular situation, you really have to analyze how you got yourself into the situation to begin with. But at the same point, I think it would be a difficult sacrifice to make because you're really giving up, a lot of things that you may want to accomplish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that.
that-
I'm gonna call that. It depends. That's it depends
Well,
answer.
When you have two people that are kind of moving in opposite directions, that's typically the result.
Professor Aisha, what do you think? Is if your man is not making more money? Remember, more is the key because you married him, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
say
that's
for
what I'm
instance,
saying, yeah.
let's say for instance, I'm giving you guys opportunities. I'm giving you outs, basically. Let's say for instance, you married him and he was making a certain amount of money. He lost that job and went somewhere else, but he was a happier man, making half of what he used to make, but he was much more happy and he was available. I don't know, but the money ain't there. Or let's say for instance, you married him and he was making a certain amount of money and he's decided, you know what, I'm fine where I'm at. This is where I'm gonna just chill. Is that worthy reason for divorce?
I feel like it really depends on your values, right? Like, what do you value? For me personally, no, that's not a worthy reason for divorce. Now, with the example that you just gave, if you're fulfilled, if you're a happier man, if you're able to be a better man at home, then I'm okay with that. Can I work? I'm not about to just leave you and divorce you. You know what I mean? If I think that we need more money, are you okay with me working now? Are you okay with me taking on more responsibility outside or something, if we're trying to live a certain lifestyle? But I don't know if money is necessarily a worthy reason for divorce, although I know it's like the number one, reason for divorce, like in the States, is money. It's money
Is
issues.
it? It's the number one reason?
I think
It goes back and forth. It teeters.
Yeah.
So the number one reason for divorce is irreconcilable differences. That's the
Infidelity.
official
Yeah,
reason.
okay.
When they drill down into that, and it's not official, it teeters back and forth between finances and infidelity. But it depends on what year. 2016, it's one, and then 2017 is the other, and then the next year to go back to 16.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, that's not enough. Yeah, that's not enough. That's just where I'm at right now. Now, did we do this 20 years in, 30 years in, we was living a certain lifestyle and we can't recoup? I don't know, That's where I feel like it becomes conditional, like what Professor Cheryl was talking about. But I think it's not a worthy reason.
Okay. But let me be clear. Before I go to Professor Happy. Because see, I hear y'all be sounding real good. I know, Sir Hale, you hear what I'm hearing? Y'all be sounding real good, and then you get this butt, and like your butt came, but 20 years from now, the vow said till death do you part. The vows
I
didn't
know.
say, but until 20 years, he decided to not do something. so
You're right. You're right.
so
I
you
don't feel.
can't
I don't
say
feel like
now.
I've changed much.
Now you're a newlywed. You're 3 years in, right? But
Yes.
when you're
Yes.
23 years in, and he's still
Yes.
doing the same thing he was doing 20 years ago, and you are, and you get to the point where you fed up, or maybe you can't stand him. What, do you still feel like, and you know that he has potential to do more? Because a lot of times women
Yeah.
tend to see or claim that they see things in their man, and I want to push him to this, but he don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah. The
talking
problem with potential is.
I'm talking in the year 2040, in the year 2042, Aisha. Your husband
Yes.
doesn't want to change the job that he was doing for the last 20 years. Even though that he can. He ignores all the promotions. He doesn't even apply for them. He doesn't want to do it. He's fine.
I'd be frustrated with him for not wanting more, but I don't know that him not wanting to make more money would still be the problem. I'd be trying to figure out, well, what else is fulfilling for you? What's going on? You know what I mean? Because a man without ambition, I feel like there's something else going on. And so I married you. I love you. But is there something going on? If there's not, then, bro, all right. I still want to go on vacation, though. We're going to go on vacation. I'm going to go see the world, baby. We're going to take the family. So we're going to make it happen no matter what.
Professor Happy, how can you imagine if you were married, Professor Happy? I know you haven't been, but if you were, and your man was cool with making, because listen, the average, we know the averages, right? And that flip flops depending on the year. The COVID messed up. 2022 messed up a whole bunch of people. Some people made way more, and some people made way less, and that's why the numbers are off because of the 2020 census. But let's just keep it at 40,000. We'll just keep it at 40. Some say it's 38, others say it's 42. So we'll just say 40,000 is the average for black men in America. And let's assume that you married a black man who was an average earner. You fell in love, but he's fine with making $40,000 a year. Are you okay with that, or do you feel that that's a worthy reason for divorce?
I'm not okay with the assumption that I would marry a man that would be making. No, I'm just
Man, the first problem was we already wasn't on the same page. You weren't where I thought you were going to be in the first place. Okay?
You know what I really think? I think that what I'm learning about money, I have not been married yet, but what I'm learning about money and the different relationships that I've been engaged in is that it's an energy. And to answer this question realistically, based on how I think, is there an echo?
I hear it a little bit. I'm not sure. Everybody,
Hold on, let me see.
go ahead.
If I talk now, is there an echo?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, money is an energy. So I think that if he's making less, like Aisha said, to Aisha's point about his mission, I believe that there's an energy issue. Especially if you're in a relationship with me, you probably are a leader. So if you're in a relationship with me and you're leading me, you probably make more than me because you know how, because that's who you are. And so if you're ever making less, it would be because either A, something happened emotionally, either B, something outside of our control has happened, or C, you're on something with your purpose that requires you to make less money right now for whatever reason. So I don't know that it would ever really be a reason making less, because I believe that there would always be a deeper reason than him just making less money. You know what I'm saying? So just the money alone is not reason for divorce, but maybe the issue underlying why he's not making more would be an issue, but we ain't talking about that. Just the making less money alone, no. But we need to know what's behind that.
Okay, but ladies, why does it have to be that something's wrong with him? Why can't it just be he's cool?
Because I know the man I married.
Because it's an energy. Because it's an energy that is created. Your energy don't just die. So if it was there before, which I assume that it was for us to be married, because you have to be giving me provision for us to be in a marriage. So if it was there before, to say now that it's not there means that something has changed. What's behind that? It ain't just, oh, I just decided one day that I'm gonna live off the man. Well, what happened, sweetheart? Something had to have happened. You need
But
to tell
it's almost
me.
like, are you guys saying mediocrity is not okay? Are you saying average is not okay?
No, I mean, I think that, like I said,
I mean,
if
yes,
he
that's
has a
what I'm
job
saying.
where he's, if he has a job or a career where he's really fulfilled and he loves what he does, maybe, whatever it may be, he loves what he does. He could be a veterinarian. I love working with animals. I love just healing these animals. I love it. This is just like I was put here on earth to do it. I mean, that's where he finds his fulfillment, and that's okay. But when you're in a situation where you are hindering the family from growing, I mean, you have to make money to take care of children. If you are hindering the family from, having a place to live, if you are hindering us from moving forward in our goals, then yes, there's a problem. But if you are on the same wavelength that you've been on for 20 years and we are living comfortably, then I don't see a problem with that.
And I believe it is conditional. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're talking about, what happened in the situation, because that matters, right? I'm not just going to divorce you because of money problems, but if you got, bigger problems, you have no motivation here, like what Professor Cheryl just said, dragging the family down, then yeah, that's out. That's out. Run from someone who is unmotivated and doesn't care to take your family forward. That's not a leader. That's not a man, in my opinion. So yeah.
And not necessarily run, because you're in a marriage. So there's a reason why it's like this, is what I'm saying. And some people, it's conditional based on who it is that you choose to be in your life at any given point, and who you choose to be in marriage, who you chose to be in a partnership with. When you decided to marry this person, I'm choosing to marry this person because of what their mission is in life is aligned with mine. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to create something together. We're going to create a lasting legacy together, or whatever, however people choose to get married. But the thing is, everything in that marriage is energy. Even if he makes less money than me, let's say for whatever reason, like Cheryl was saying earlier, let's say he's a veterinarian and that's his passion and that's what he does. That's his purpose. He's supposed to save animals' lives. And let's just say whatever my profession is happens to make more money than his, but he's doing what it is that God intended for him to do. That is not a reason for divorce. Under no circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying 40,000. I'm not even talking about the numbers. I'm talking about whatever it is that makes you comfortable, knowing that you are living in your purpose and that you feel comfortable with this other person. You guys are able to care for each other, care for yourselves, and care for whatever people you bring into this world with you, your family, however you do it, as long as everybody is comfortable. But I think the most important thing is purpose. The reason why money becomes an issue is because we're unhappy because I'm trying to do something that the money is stopping me from doing. Why is that happening? It's always an energy issue. It's always an energy block. So it's never, like I said in the last episode, money is never going to be an issue. Like, it's something that can always be generated as long as we understand that that's how the world, our world works.
Sir Hale, what do you think? What kind of information you have for the ladies?
It pained my heart to hear some of the things that I heard tonight, but I'm going to do my best to speak to these points.
Me too. Here we are trying to do wife school, teach them. I think we got to teach them. We got to teach the teachers.
I think, and I say this with a little humor, but a little bit of seriousness, is that this is what most men fear, is that women are incapable of loving unconditionally. There's a underlying concern for a lot of men that if something happened in life, that our girl who we love If you guys listen to the story, she came in with a kid, and her words were, "He loved unconditionally." Because most men, when they love a woman, that love button is turned on, and there is nothing that can turn that off. Not his mother, not his boys, not his situation, not nothing. What she does, when he loves unconditionally. A lot of men fear, though, and the reason why they stress themselves out and work so much overtime, and a woman says, "I want you to spend more time," and he's like, "I can't spend time because I'm working," because a lot of men know that if their financial situation changes, then the love that he's getting right now might change because it's conditional. And so while you ladies are saying that, I want you to know that that is a concern for a lot of average men, that they're not making a whole lot of money. And if the better looking you are, the more attention you get, there's this concern, not insecurity, is a concern that he might be invested in somebody who might be invested in somebody else who has more to offer. Because here in America, we do not work to live, we work to impress people. And if our lifestyles aren't impressive by what we drive and where we live, then somehow he's unmotivated. So I wanted to say that I wanted to bring a little humor, but it's a fear that a lot of men do have, for pastors and clergy, for firemen, police officers, for teachers whose salaries are not great, but their work is fulfilling. It's a concern that many men have. Men want that unconditional love too, and we don't want that love to be attached to how much we earn.
You're on mute, Cheryl.
Cheryl, you unmute yourself. Okay, there you go.
Off? Okay. I agree with you in that sense, because if you're finding fulfillment in the work that you do, a professor, a veterinarian, a fireman, a pastor, whatever it may be, those are areas where you may not be able to have those options to make a lot more money. And that's fine, because again, you are in a situation where our family is still taken care of. You're still able to provide, you're still able to do the things that we have made. We're still able to fulfill our goals, and that's fine, that's great. It's just when you are in a sense where you are not growing, you're preventing the family from growing, or you're stunting our growth, or you are hindering us from doing the things that we've agreed to do, or we've talked about doing. That's when it becomes a problem. It's a problem when you're failing to take the family where we want to go. And it doesn't mean that, every year you have to make $10,000 more. It's just, it can be a steady thing. It can be the same thing for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and that's fine. If you are finding fulfillment, and if the babies can't get shoes because you want to, flip burgers, I don't know what it is. If the babies can't get shoes, if we can't do the things that, we need to do, if we can't pay our mortgage or our rent, if we can't, we don't have a vehicle, I have to take my babies on the bus. I mean, there are things that as a man you want to be able to provide for your family, and I get that, but there's just certain things when we come into a marriage, we've agreed on things. We've agreed on a lifestyle that we want to live. And maybe that lifestyle may change because you get sick, or because you get injured or hurt, or whatever the case may be. And that's, a different situation. But if you're just choosing, I'm making the conscious choice to quit my job and go work whatever, that's
No.
I
don't want him to make less. I just want, the question is that he's not making more.
He's not making
It's not
more.
that he quit his job and decided to go be a guitarist in Hollywood and fulfill his dreams at age 45. I'm saying that he's making a certain amount of money, and he has opportunities to make more doing maybe a different position, but he chooses not to. He's complacent and content and happy with where he is.
That's fine, as long as we're able to accomplish the goals that we've agreed to going into our marriage. We say we want to have kids, and now we're at a point where we can't afford to have kids. You know, we don't have health insurance because, you know, whatever the case may be, or we just can't afford it for whatever reason. I mean, then there's a problem, because we came into the situation agreeing that we were going to do these things, and now we're not. So now I'm not getting fulfilled because I want to be a mother, or I'm not getting fulfilled because, you know, we've agreed, you know, we love to travel, and now I can't travel. We're just stuck in the city, you know, and I'm seeing the same things every single day. It's just like, what have you
Got you. All right. Sir Hill?
So when we take our we get married, we say these words: "I'm gonna love you in sickness and health, for richer or poorer." We say these words. Do we really mean this though? Because
Apparently
I don't
not.
think ladies understand what men go through to make sure y'all are good. I really don't think our women really understand what it takes to make sure. And I tell my story a little bit. Is a man who had a wife and 4 kids in the ghetto. Like I'm talking about Roaches ghetto, right? Because I was the guy making 42,000 a year, and then we pulled up and live in a very nice place now. And the amount of work it takes to do that. So it takes work to get there, and then it takes more work to stay there, and then it takes even more work to grow from there. I don't think a lot of ladies understand what men really go through, and that even if a man is not making a lot of money, a lot of them are trying to find ways, to make your life better. And what it sounds like from the ladies is, if the money ain't right, and our goals are not being reached, I don't think a lot of ladies understand how many goals men sacrifice to make sure the family is good. I'm talking about real men who love their wives and children. The stuff that we put on the back burner to make sure you're good, and what it does here over time. So it concerns me that I'm hearing it seems like love for men is contingent on his money, and ambition is determined by how much money he racks up. And I think that's not a realistic comparison, because you can have men who make a lot of money have little impact, and then you can have men who don't earn very much and have really big influence. Kids are raised right, men of integrity, he's esteemed, he's got favorite attached to him. And even if his salary isn't going up, if he's contributing to like a 401k or to some investments, he's still earning money, even though the salary doesn't say that, his money is still growing. So when I'm hearing this, I just wonder if you ladies are considering that even if the salary is not growing up, it doesn't mean that he's not investing and that his money's not growing in other areas.
What I've learned though is that if the money is not growing, there's an issue somewhere else. And so what I'm hearing you say is that, what it sounds like is that there may come a point in time where a man might get tired. And because of this exhaustion from building this family and putting his all into this family structure that we are building, that he may not want to do it. He may break under the pressure. And men want to know that if he does, that you will be there. And what I've heard all of us say is that if he's on his mission, all is well. And in order for him to be on his mission, everything else has to be in order.
Yeah,
He
but see, the
cannot
thing is, ladies, Happy, you're defining his mission.
No,
See,
I'm not.
Well,
No,
it
I am
sounds,
not.
and by and large, you are, because see what happens
Doing
is, and
nothing
this
is no
typically
one's
what
mission.
happens. The ladies, you
Doing
guys will come
nothing
in
is
and
no
you
one's
will
mission.
say,
Not growing is no one's mission.
but the
Yeah,
thing
that's
is,
just not
hear me
life.
out. Hear me out. What you ladies will say is, I feel you aren't doing enough. And he may say, I am. But I don't think you are. And because you guys create these certain thresholds, you create this certain level of achievement that he needs to reach. And if he doesn't achieve that, at no matter what, because we can talk about millionaires, it's all relative, right? We can talk about a guy that's only making 2 million. She wants him to make 5, and so she's sick and tired because she wants a Rolls Royce instead of a Mercedes. You got somebody else who wants a Mercedes instead of a Honda. You got somebody else that wants a Honda instead of a Kia, and somebody else that wants a Kia instead of riding the bus. It's all relative. But if what you're saying is he doesn't meet what it sounds like to me, and I believe Sir Hale, if he doesn't meet your particular goal that you guys are claiming that we set for ourselves, but say you met it, got you a place, got you a car. No, it's not a Benz, but it's a Honda Civic. It gets you where you gotta go. We got a flat screen TV in there. It's not an 85 inch, it's a little 42 inch, but you can still watch TV. You know, aren't you happy? You're safe. You're in the house. You got food in the kitchen. You got a place to sleep. You got a toilet and a bathtub to take a bath in. But if it's not where you want it to be, then suddenly it's something wrong with him.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what it sounds like to us.
I get that. But I said, are you okay with me offsetting whatever else to meet the lifestyle that we're trying to achieve?
No, that's fine. But then say you start working. Go to work, baby. Go to work. But now you tired. And you worn out, and you sick of traffic, and you sick of your boss, and your paycheck ain't right, and you don't want to live in this city that you in this neighborhood that you guys live in, even with your income. And you know that he could just step up and be more. Women oftentimes, from our experience, is like, well, damn, this ain't enough.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, I can see that. Yeah, because it'll be like, no, it's not enough.
We gonna go overtime. We're going to go overtime because we could get to talking. I feel like I got so much more to say on this. We're going to have to change the format of this show because the question is, you guys be saying stuff that we need to actually, maybe we'll switch it to one question a week because we need to dig deep in some of this stuff. I'll be trying to do 3 questions.
And I think some of it too, like if you ask me, am I going to divorce my husband if he makes less? Absolutely not. Not a day. Not just because you make less. We can go through frustrations. I could be angry. You can be this, you can be that at different times, but I don't. For me, I'm not leaving my husband. Like that's not happening. Like,
so ladies, let's do it like
we have to downgrade, if we have to downsize, if we have to revamp, if we have to restart, I'm not leaving you. We're in this together to the end, no matter.
Shannon, can I respond to that?
Go ahead, Sir Hill.
See, that's Professor Aisha. Like that heart is what men look for. Like it's just to know that our wife got us. Not money, not stuff. You got us. I'm not going to lose respect. That's enough motivation to keep a man going. And what I don't think a lot of ladies understand is men get tired. Like we get tired too. And there's this book that I'm reading, Shannon, and I know you probably already read it. Is The Psychology of Money. Mm-hmm. It is a fantastic read. And in there, it was talking about how luck is mixed into a lot of stuff. So where we are is nothing is as good as or as bad as it seems. And it made me think about some things like when COVID happened, like when the pandemic happened. There were people who had certain jobs wiped away. I mean, gone. Like where I live it's one of the nicest cities in the state. And COVID happens, they have to move. And what that showed me is that sometimes it's not energy, sometimes it's just life, right? Sometimes life happens and we have to adjust. So when I hear Professor Aisha say we can re-downsize, never in it did I hear her say I'm gonna lose respect for you. You need to find the motivation. That's the understanding of that is just what most men need. And I'll reverse this. If a man, if we get over 42 and he says, I want more kids, and you can't have more kids because you're past that age, well, we can't divorce you because now we can't have kids with you, because when you get married, things change. And when I said that I'm gonna love you, I'm going to love you regardless of if I'm getting 100% of what I want. So even though in this particular area, you can no longer produce for me, right? Your value to me is not diminished because you can't give me something, because something happened in life. And I have to love you through the changes of life. And that's what men want from women.
All right. So what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. Because these topics, I just decided just now that we're going to switch to a one question. Because I thought introducing 2 questions and leading up to the main would help. But we get so deep into our small questions that I can't even get to the big one. This was the big question of last week. So I'm going to do some artwork changes on the videos. I'm gonna bring last week's artwork to this video. And then I'm going to create new artwork for last week. And then I'm going to bring this week's video to next week. The whole husband's got to eat, that's going to be next week's question. So I have a question for you guys. Well, before we move on, Professor Cheryl and Professor Aisha and Professor Happy, what would you advise the young ladies who are looking to get married when it comes to if her man is not making more money, is it worthy reason for divorce? Give us a quick 15-second response. Go ahead, Professor Aisha.
What I would tell them is it's okay. It's okay. Have the conversation and figure out how you guys want to build your life regardless of the money that he makes and you make.
Okay. Professor Cheryl.
I would say it's really about communication, about knowing prior to marriage. This is what we're talking about, prior to marriage. Just really knowing, communicating what it is that you want, so you have clear expectations and understanding of what it is that you see for your family, and with grace, with understanding, with love, but just communicating and understanding each other.
Professor Happy.
I would tell anyone looking for marriage to not attach yourself to anything material in life. Learn that people are more valuable than anything, money included, and that money can be made, things can be bought. If you center your happiness on material things, you lose every time. So value people, value the man that you marry beyond the money that he makes.
Professor Sir Hale.
For the first time in history, America, I want to say this. I agree with everything the lady said. Happy what she just said, spoke the language of my heart. I have literally nothing to add to that. That's exactly what I would say.
I would say this.
Wait, we need a standing ovation.
This is what I would say. Young people, what's love got to do with it?
Goodbye, Shannon.
In the words of Aretha Frank, what has love got to do with it? Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side of the fence you're standing on, you hear how a lot of women think when it comes to money, right? Everything is about money. Everything is about it, right? And so realize, fellas, especially, that marriage is a business contract. The institute of marriage is a business contract, and you guys are signing a contract with each other to join into this. And with finances being one of the number one reasons, one of the top 3 reasons of all time for divorce, what's love got to do with it? And as long as you recognize that and you realize that, then you'll be okay. This is what I would suggest to all young women and men if you guys are going to get married. When you ask, is making more money the worthy reason to divorce? I would say that you need to have this conversation before you jump the broom. What's the goal? I need to know the goal now as your fiance before you become my husband or I become your wife. Now, everybody wants to be a multimillionaire. It needs to be realistic. Everybody wants to say, oh, we're going to be millionaires and we're going to be this. Don't predicate your marriage on becoming a millionaire, because the odds are you won't do it. But if you guys are going to say, listen, between you and me together, however, whether it's all you or all me or us together, we will achieve a gross annual income of $175,000 a year, period. That's what we will do. And we will do that by year 10. 10 years in, we will look back. We have a goal to meet and say at the year 10 of our marriage, we will both have to be making together as a family unit $175,000. That's just an example. Some people is going to be $750,000. Some people is going to be $100,000, 50 grand and 50 grand. Some people is going to have to be $2 million, $1 million, and it's all on him, and she don't have to make nothing. It depends, but you have to set a measurable goal and milestones along the way. And if you do that, you won't have to worry about divorcing somebody, because if he becomes lazy, at that point, you can look at it like he's in breach of contract. You could say, oh, see, before we got married, we said we were going to get married And in 10 years, we'd be making 175,000. We're on year 8, and you still at 40 with no signs of getting any better. What's going on? Will you be in breach of contract since marriage is a business? If you were to have that hard discussion in advance, then fine. Now, here's the thing. There's the flip side of that. If you guys reach that goal of $175,000 a year between the two of you in 5 years, ladies, you cannot then say, I want a stretch goal of 300,000. If he says, look, I'm working and I'm fine and I got the vacation and I can do what I want to do and I can move how I want to move and we making 175,000, and because you want the Maybach or you want the Rolls Royce instead of the Benz, you want to live in Bel Air instead of Baldwin Hills, you cannot then say, well, I want us to make 300,000, or I think you can do better. I think you can make $1 million. And he will be able to say, no. What are you talking about? I fulfilled my contractual obligation. If you guys have this kind of conversation before you got married, remember, I'm twice married, twice divorced. I did not have these conversations before I got married. I wish I did. And I wish I had somebody who told me to. Then things would be a whole lot easier. I got one question and then we're going to wrap this show up. Sir Hill, I know you got to run. This is going to be an easy one for the ladies. What?
Nothing. I just think that's funny. I'm a laugh. Okay. One thing about me, I'm a laugh. Go ahead.
Ladies, what is your definition? Simply put, what is your definition of submission? It's a dirty word. It's a dirty, dirty, dirty word these days. Submission. I want you guys to just take a moment, think about it, and let us know what you feel submission is and how young people should react when they hear, women particularly, because this is wife school. I want you ladies to explain to the young ladies what they need to hear or what they need to know about this dirty word submission. The floor is open, whoever wants to go first.
I mean, it's really a level of respect that you have for your husband. Submission to me is respect. It's respecting the person that you're with, respecting that he has the family's best interest, your best interest, that he is, his task is to make sure that, everything is taken care of. And submission, in a sense, like you really have to go into, one thing I tell my daughter all the time is like, just be mindful of, who it is that's going to cover you. A lot of people don't look at, a situation like, look at marriage in the sense of, when, we're not getting along, this person is still going to cover me. When we don't agree, this person is still going to cover me. When just knowing that you're with someone who loves you unconditionally and is committed to you and to your family, it allows you to have that respect and that peace in whatever it is that they decide. So giving them the floor. Men, they need respect. They need respect. They don't want it, they need respect. And so submission, in a sense, is giving the man in your life, respect and respecting his decisions, respecting how he feels about things, respecting, his choices, and allowing him the floor to do that.
I actually think that was a really good definition, because I was looking for another word, something different than just like yielding, and respect is what it is. And I feel like we have this idea that submission is do whatever you're told to do, right? Well, I said to do it, do whatever you're told to do. And that's not submission, because there's no respect in that. You're not seeing me as another human. You're not respecting what I'm saying or what I'm doing. You're just telling me what to do and guiding me. I think submission is the ability to take a step back and know that everything is still going to be taken care of by the person that you love. Like, it's really taking a step back, because a lot of the time we come and we're like, well, I know how to do this and I got a better way and I've been doing it so long. You might have a great way. You know, you're going to get the step stool and this is the easiest way to change the light. Well, submission is just letting him do it because he said he was going to take care of it. Right? Something as simple as that. Yeah. It's hard though. Y'all, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
And
and that was, yeah, keep it real.
I just had to
Does-
say that. I have to be really completely honest.
Why is it hard? Does it feel degrading?
No, it doesn't feel degrading. It's a change in mindset. It's unlearning things sometimes. It's everyone hasn't grown up in a household or an environment or a neighborhood where you've seen people have to submit to one another, where you've seen people hold each other with high respect and high regard. A lot of us come from maybe two different homes, where our parents were in two different homes, right? And so we're not used to seeing our mom say, okay, and step back and let your dad guide. That's not your normal reality. And so I think with submission, it's you have to learn how to do it. It's a learned behavior. So changing that old mentality, throwing it out, you know what I mean? Unlearning some of those toxic habits that you had before and some of that pushback that you were used to always giving everybody. This is not a debate class. This is your marriage. You know what I mean? So everything is not a debate. Everything is not just because you feel like you have a better way. And that takes time. That takes some unlearning. And submission doesn't mean that you don't get heard. It doesn't mean that your opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you have no say so. It just means that the way you present the information, the way you speak, and ultimately who you let decide the final decision, that changes. Those things change. So,
Professor Happy.
Shen, I'm sorry, you mind if I jump in? I'm about to head
Go
out
ahead,
really quick.
Professor Hill.
Ladies, here's my only question for you. Please give me more things to disagree with. These last 2 weeks, I've agreed with both of you, and I'm not sure what's going on here. But when it comes to submission, ladies, ask your man what his mission is. This is how simple it is. You know what his mission is, baby. What's important to you in life? Where do you see us going? He gives you the vision, and then you help make that vision happen. That's all submission is. I think we've complicated it because we mean, now, baby, I said I want a wheat toast. I don't want the white toast. I said I want a rice, not grits. That's not what we're talking about. Submission.
right.
Submission is the grand scheme of
Right,
marriage.
Anime.
You know what I mean? I think we're so worried about him telling us what to do. If you know the mission, he won't have to tell you so much of what to do. Right? So, ladies, if you really want to get in tune with what submission is, ask your man what the mission is. You come up under that and you make that vision happen. That's what submission is.
That's
Happy,
good.
why is submission such a dirty word, Happy? And we could wrap it up with this. Why is it such a
Why
dirty
is
word,
it
Happy?
such a dirty word is because people don't understand that trust comes before submission, and then people don't understand that when trust is not present, submission is very hard to do. So I think that would be the only reason that it would be a dirty word. I really agree with what Professor Hill said. He almost stole the words out of my mouth. I think that submission is literally knowing what another person's mission is and respecting that mission. I like what Cheryl said. I like that word because I was looking for a word other than yield. I didn't like that word.
Yeah.
But when you understand what a person's mission is, submission becomes a little bit easier because you trust their direction, you trust what it is that they're trying to create, and you become a co-creator in helping them to create that. That's what I think that submission is. I know that my definition lacks the proper input into how, like Professor Aisha said, how hard that is in practice, because it does mean holding your tongue. It does mean that not all of your ideas are the ones that get used or even heard. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think that sometimes that's submission. Sometimes it is truly allowing another person's mission to be the one that is created in the space that you guys create together.
But Happy, is that something that now let's take it off of the world. Let's put it personally on you. Is that something that you think you can do? What if you feel that what if you feel that your purpose and goal is bigger than his and he needs to submit to you? Do you think that's out of order?
That might be why I'm not married, guys. Why you get all up in my business like that? I thought that this is about everybody that's watching, not just me. Dang. I think that I can ultimately get behind the man that I choose to submit to. I will choose to submit to the right man with the right mission. Absolutely. The man that is for me knows the vision that God has given me for my life, and he will be in alignment with that. And I don't really even question that or have any I know I will submit to the man that God has made for me, and that's just where I leave it.
Just gonna keep it simple like that.
I'm gonna keep it simple.
Cheryl, you've been married 13 or 14 years. Cheryl, question for you, and you may choose to answer. It's up to you. For the entire time that you've been married, did you submit to your husband?
No.
Explain.
No.
Okay. Follow-up question. Do you submit to him now?
Okay.
Let's wait till we
Do I
clear the
submit to
room.
him now?
Clear the room, everybody.
Yes, I think that, we like Professor Aisha said that there's a lot of, I think it was you, said that there's
her.
a lot of unlearning that you have to do, a lot of unlearning that you have to experience, because we don't always know, we don't always know what to do. We don't know what to do. We walk into it thinking that we do most of the time, and we don't know what to do. And so there's a lot of hit and miss. There's a lot of oh, that won't work. I thought that was the right way, but that's not the right way. I thought that that's how we handled it, but this obviously is not. This obviously is not the right choice. So you're constantly progressing and learning and trial and error until you get it right. And I'm not going to say I have it right. I'm not going to say that every single thing I submit to everything, because I'm still learning. But I am.
I said, what that sound like to men? Oh, so you still hard headed.
So it's a process. Okay, cool. We got time.
We speak Martian, and you ladies, you speak Venetian. We on two different planets, and all I heard in my translation was, oh, so she's still hard headed. Okay.
But I mean,
she's learning.
But
she's growing,
if
but she's still difficult.
If I look at where I am now to where we first got married, it blows my mind, because I was in a very I was in a mindset where I just felt like, I had the answers. I knew it all, and not that I wanted him to submit to me, but, I felt like my voice, not that my voice doesn't matter. Huh?
I said, you're going to hear me. I'm going to give you my opinion.
Oh, yeah. So, but now it's easier for me to look at the situation, and so when I say, not all the time, it's always because submission is like a level of trust that you have, and so there's always that oh well, I'll let you have it, but
well, you're still learning. You're still learning, Cheryl. You say it's a work in progress, and for many people, it's a lifelong work in progress. But here's a question for you: 13 years in, and you even blow your own mind when you compare yourself to who you are today versus who you were 13 years ago. And that whole purpose of us having this show is so we can give the young ladies the game on year one that you have 13 years later. How long did it take you to snap out of it, I guess, to wake up, I guess, to get to the point where submission wasn't so dirty and the trust was necessary?
Wake up and snap out of it, though.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
sound frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
what's going
That's what
on?
I'm saying.
How
Because
long
if
do
you
it
because
take?
if you if
The
you're
brothers want to
blinded,
know
if
how
you're
long do it
blinded and
take.
your mind is cloudy and you think you know everything and so on and so forth, and then one day you wake up and everything is clear, that's like waking up. So
Yeah, but I
at
mean,
one point
it's a
Cheryl was clear, and she says, okay, wait a minute, maybe I need to pick and choose my battles, and maybe all fights aren't good fights. How long did it take you to do that? That's what I mean by snapping out and waking up. Do you say, why am I fighting about that? Because that's stupid, and I'm not even gonna remember why we was fighting about this in 2 weeks. So why even have it now? So how long did it take for you to grow that maturity, and how did you grow it, Cheryl, for the young ones to hear?
I mean, it was a lot of prayer. It honestly, it was a lot of prayer, and it was a lot of, just really looking for, and I think I would say like it took a few years, and it was when I started taking responsibility for, I really started taking responsibility for,
Oh, wow.
my either responses, my actions, my level of trust, commitment. So it's really, I'm not going to say everybody's journey is going to be the same, but it was really hard for me to develop that trust in the first few years, because I just knew that I had, the right answers. I knew that I was, I had, my choices were more correct, I don't know. I just felt like, I wanted to be heard. And when I started to understand that, I needed to really take a step back to sometimes just be quiet and really pray, because sometimes, you're kind of like when we talked about the solar the other week, there were times when I would have just been flat out like, no. Like, no, this is not what we're gonna do. But it really took a lot of prayer and reflection. Looking at situations that we went through and how I responded and how I could have done better. And understanding that a lot of times, I think what people in general, they don't look at is the fact your responses matter. Your responses to things really, really matter. So a lot of times, you can respond to something, and now the focus becomes your response instead of the original action. So, maybe something that I'm not with, but the way that I responded to it made the situation even worse. And so I think, for instance, allowing myself to trust, to listen, to kind of have that level of respect I would see, in situations where the next time, like if things didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to go, but I let things happen. I see how things transpired in the future that went more along to not per se what I wanted, but more thought, more care, more consideration on his part went through. So
Okay. Professor Aisha, I want you to wrap us up. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Submission, submit, submit under, submission, wife to husband. What would 3 years married Aisha tell the honeymoon Aisha 3 years ago to avoid problems that you had? What would the 3-year experienced Aisha tell the 3-month married Aisha when it comes to the term submission?
It's okay.
That's your answer.
It's okay. No, I was trying to figure out the best way to say it, but I think that I would if I could go back and look at Newlywed Aisha, I would really just be like, it's not that serious. So that really is my answer, because sometimes we take things so seriously. We think our point is so important. We think our way is the only way, that you force that point and then you cause a rift unnecessarily. And now we had an argument. Now we mad for 3 days. Why? Because I responded when it wasn't that serious. Some things just aren't worth the battle. And it's okay to be a work in progress with your spouse. Sometimes we expect for them to be perfect, and you do still have to learn each other in the married stages. I think a lot of people feel like, oh, well, once you're together, it's good. There's no more learning. No, you're constantly evolving people. And so respecting each other in that growth, you start to realize, like, it's just not that serious. It's okay. Like, yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Can I answer too?
Go ahead, Happy.
I think that it's really important that I say that in this dating process, looking for marriage is always so important to me, that any man that I date is submitting to God first. And I think that would be the most important thing in my marriage. I need to know that the man that I am submitting to is submitting to the same God that informs my life. And, if we have that in common, if that is the head of our union, then it flows from God to him, and then he'll pour it on to me, I believe. So I think that in dating, ladies, the core values, the what that man believes in and who he submits his life to is very important to look for.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Really past that anyway. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, God has brought us a long way. So yes, I'm glad you said
Okay.
that.
Look, Cheryl said she had to pray about it. And
listen, you have to pray about it a lot, if I'm being real.
Yeah, I gotta keep telling you, like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Your voice, you need God.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, listen, everybody, I'm Mr. Shan. Remember, the serpent attacked relationships as his very first attack in Genesis. Don't just plan your wedding, plan your entire marriage. And to be married isn't enough. You need to be a wife. We'll see you next week.
You never feel the way I feel. You don't know if my love is real. Baby, listen to me, here's the deal. When you're not here, I'm not the same. I'm needing a new chapter, babe. Been stuck here in a bed for days. I've been staring at the telephone, cause when you're gone, I miss your face. Later, clock, body talk. There's no need to bring it up.
See ya.
Nothing you say makes it better.